For more great retail real estate content, like, share, and subscribe.
Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about how to have a really successful engagement with a lawyer, and how the process works. So I have talked a little bit about how through search and LOI negotiations, the quarterback is sort of the broker, but that changes during lease negotiations, and the lawyer becomes, the leader of the team.
Right.
So any advice you can give new retailers on how to best prepare for that engagement and what to expect as you work through lease negotiations?
Well, I think as you just said, I think to think about this as your lawyer as part of your team, and that the fact is you are a team, and it's going to take a lot of participation from all members of the team. So don't be shy about asking questions of your lawyer, asking for clarification from your lawyer. So the broker will have gotten you through probably an executed LOI or an LOI that is almost executed. So at that point, when you've gotten that document into your lawyer, it probably makes sense to, kind of do a kickoff call with your lawyer and talk about either the things in the LOI that were particularly hard fought, or places in the LOI where you felt like you gave more than you were comfortable. So if there's any way in the lease negotiations to push back a little bit, I mean, the LOI is typically not a binding document, but at the end of the day, it should actually reflect the agreement that you've reached. It will be much more limited in scope than what a lease is, but it should, the rent should be right, the term should be right. The basic fundamentals that are in there should reflect your deal.
And I'm sure I sound like a broken record at this point, but we try as hard as we possibly can not to retrade that LOI, which is why I am an advocate of a shorter LOI. Because to your point, a shorter LOI with points that you can live with, without a lot of flourishes or remedies for what happens if you violate certain terms, that'll give your lawyer more latitude to be able to fill in the blanks and round it out into a sort of more comprehensive document without retrading.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. And I feel like, again, if legal spend is part of what you're concerned about, which I think it certainly is, as soon as your LOI starts to stray into legal concepts, you almost feel like you need to bring your lawyer in on the LOI, which is clearly going to run up the legal spend. So if the LOI can be pretty limited in scope to the true economic and fundamental terms, you can leave legal stuff, the assignment and subletting, or other, legal concepts to the lease, which I think is fine. And I totally agree with you, Abby, that once it's in the LOI, it's not impossible to back away, but it's hard. And so if you end up with legal terms that you didn't really understand in the LOI that don't go your way, it's going to be more of an uphill climb for your lawyer to right that ship. So to try and keep the LOI shorter and on point to the basic business terms is probably the best strategy.